Regarding the civil case surrounding 11-year-old Arabella McCormick, whom prosecutors say was tortured and murdered by her adoptive family.
19 states, including California, are suing the Trump administration over a policy they say makes it more difficult to hire nurses and teachers.
One project is underway at Pepper Park and another one is on the way.
A San Diego homeowner dropped from trash service with nowhere to turn. Until our story aired, the update on how he finally got help.
Her first time on the Billboard charts, Selena Graves has something to sing and say.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
The sisters of an 11-year-old girl who prosecutors say was tortured and murdered by her adoptive family back in 2022 have just settled a case for more than $30 million in civil court. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Chiquetta.
I'm Marcella Lee. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal was at today's hearing and shares what happened in court along with an update on the sisters.
And the attorney for the sisters tells me they still live here in San Diego with their foster mother. Now they're 9 and 11 years old, and this settlement means they'll have money to pay for things like school, clothing, food, therapy for the rest of their lives. How are the sisters doing?
They're adjusting well. I think they're adjusting well. They've got a lot of things that they're carrying, but they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Attorney Craig McClellan represents Arabella McCormack's two sisters. He spoke to us after today's hearing in civil court, where several agencies, including the county, agreed to a $30 million settlement rather than taking this case to trial. The county agreed to pay $10 million. The city agreed to pay $10 million. Pacific Coast Academy, $8.5 million, and the Rock Church, $3 million. The lawsuit, filed on behalf of the sisters, accused the agencies of failing to report the abuse, neglect, and starvation they say they suffered at the hands of their adoptive family.
So what we hope the settlement says is that people have to do their jobs. When there's a law that mandates reporting of suspected child abuse, there should be reporting, and it should be enforced not only by the district attorney on criminal statutes, but it should be enforced by the companies they work for.
Meanwhile, the criminal case is still pending. Adoptive mother Leticia McCormack and her parents face murder charges for Arabella's death. The father, Border Patrol agent Brian McCormack, would have faced charges too, but he shot himself the day Arabella died. McClellan says a trust will now be set up for the two girls, and a trustee will administer the funds to them throughout their lives.
There's no way that their sister can come back. There's no way that the memories of her will disappear. As for justice in a situation like this, I don't know that there is justice. All we can do is try to make it as right as we can with money damages.
And McClellan says the trustee for the girls' trust will have to be approved by the court. Now, only the girls will have access to this money. Now, I asked how much attorney's fees will be, and he says it's unclear right now, but he assured me that the girls will be taken care of for the rest of their lives. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
Thank you, Kelly. New tonight, we're learning the wife of a Pacific Beach man killed in a plane crash that tore through a Murphy Canyon military housing community is suing the pilot's company and estate, claiming the pilot ignored dangerous weather conditions. Dominic Damian was one of 6 people on board a private jet attempting to land at Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport in heavy fog back in May. The Cessna 550 Citation clipped power lines more than a mile from the runway, then crashed into the neighborhood, setting cars and homes on fire. Lawyers for Damian's wife are now seeking more answers about what led up to the deadly crash. We have more details about this lawsuit posted on CBS8.com. Just click on this story.
More than half a dozen people are facing retail theft charges following a crackdown on crime in Lemon Grove. And San Diego Sheriff's deputies in Lemon Grove say their work on this front is far from over.
CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez joins us live from Lemon Grove tonight with how they're stepping up patrols to keep people and businesses safe. Esmeralda?
Well, Carlo, Marcella, two of the stores in these latest arrests are Dollar Tree and Home Depot right here in Lemon Grove. I'm told that deputies are working really directly with store management and also with loss prevention teams to stop these crimes from happening before they even happen. So take a listen to this. On Wednesday, the San Diego County Sheriff's in Lemon Grove COPS team, which stands for Community-Oriented Policing and Problem Solving, launched a retail theft sweep across several local businesses. In just 8 hours, they made 7 arrests, 6 misdemeanors, and 1 felony. That's roughly 1 arrest every hour. I spoke with Sheriff Lieutenant Joseph Berry, who says the city used local tax dollars to fund this new 2-deputy team that began in August, a 1-year pilot project that's already showing results. Take a listen.
Around, we look just like any other person. We're not in uniform. We've got deputies positioned outside in undercover cars, and we have other patrol cars that are in position to go ahead and make an arrest if somebody takes off in a car. Generally, we like to, get the people when they're obviously leaving the store.
And Sheriff's Lieutenant Berry is hoping that is pushing really to make this 1-year effort a permanent one here in Lemon Grove. Back to you.
The November statewide special election on Proposition 50 is now officially certified. California Secretary of State Shirley Weber said today the measure passed with 64% of the vote. Today's certification means California's congressional maps will temporarily be redrawn to offer Democrats an advantage of 5 House seats until 2030. We're told 50% of registered voters turned out to vote, which some political analysts say is impressive for a special election. And California once again is clashing with the White House, this time over establishing regulations for artificial intelligence. President Trump signed an executive order this week to give the federal government the authority to set standards. The president is creating a task force to challenge and do away with state AI laws inconsistent with federal standards. The administration is also threatening to withhold federal funding for non-compliant states.
Way ahead of what we ever thought we'd be, just from the infancy of AI. We're leading China by a lot. China knows that, and not doing this would be the greatest gift to China and other countries, but China in particular.
The president claims a federal standard is needed to avoid what he calls excessive state regulation that limits the U.S. from dominating the AI industry. But California recently passed a package of historic bills increasing online safety. That all includes SB 53, which starting in January, will mandate first-in-the-nation transparency requirements for the largest AI companies. That measure's author, State Senator Scott Wiener, responded to the president's effort in a statement that reads in part, quote, "This blatantly corrupt and blatantly illegal order is a gift to David Sachs and other MAGA donors at the expense of transparency and public safety. If the Trump administration tries to enforce this ridiculous order, we will see them in court." California's Attorney General Rob Bonta told us his office will respond as appropriate. And in the meantime, California is joining 18 other states in a lawsuit against the Trump administration on a different front.
And CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports this one targets high fees on work visas, which the suit claims will make some labor shortages even worse.
Okay. It's phase 1.
President Trump signed the executive order 3 months ago, imposing a $100,000 fee on all new H-1B work visa applications. Today, 19 states filed suit to block it, including California.
H-1B visas allow U.S. employers, including our schools, hospitals, universities, research institutions, to hire highly skilled workers like physicians, like nurses, like teachers, and researchers.
State Attorney General Rob Bonta says the executive order is illegal because only Congress has the authority to raise revenue. The old H-1B fee was about $7,500.
California, like every other state in this country, needs more teachers, more nurses, more doctors. There is a shortage.
The H-1B visa program allows employers, including hospitals and schools, to hire foreign workers in order to fill labor shortages.
We have had a continual desire to bring on about 100 nurses for the last 3 years.
Jamie White is a chief nursing officer in Maryland, one of the 19 states that filed suit. She says the $100,000 fee has halted the visa program altogether at her hospital.
We will not afford that. We cannot afford that for even one individual.
The White House says the fee will force employers to hire workers from this country.
So there's an incentive to hire American.
Issuing a statement saying, President Trump promised to put American workers first, and this common sense action does just that by discouraging companies from spamming the system and driving down American wages.
The bottom line is no presidential administration can rewrite immigration law. No president can destabilize our schools, our hospitals, and universities on a whim.
Here in San Diego, the need for nurses is critical. One recent report estimated that over the next 3 years, the region will need 1,500 additional nurses. In Kearney Mesa, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thank you, David. San Diego's unemployment rate dropped slightly in September. That's according to some state data released today. It shows the county's unemployment rate for September was at 4.9%. That's down from 5% in August. September's rate is lower than California's rate of 5.6%, but higher than the national rate of 4.3%. Private education and health services saw the most gains, while leisure and hospitality saw the most losses.
The San Diego Foundation is awarding more than $2.5 million in grants to community food programs struggling with federal cuts. One recipient is Mama's Kitchen, which provides medically tailored meals to San Diegans with serious illnesses. The nonprofit is getting $325,000, which they say is critical because while they've seen demand double in 5 years, their funding has not.
We have lost about $200,000 per year over the next 3 years from one funding source that has federal origins, and then we also have an anticipated loss of another roughly $150,000 a year. So we know right up front we're losing about $350,000 a year.
The grants come from the Unity Fund, created to cushion nonprofits from federal funding reductions. The fund has now raised more than $32 million to support organizations across San Diego County. You can text the word Unity to 858-571-8888 to learn more about the San Diego Unity Fund and how you can help keep San Diegans housed, fed, and healthy.
There's a new initiative to make it easier to get an education both north and south of the border.
We'll have those details still ahead, plus a Working For You update as a San Diego homeowner dropped from the city's trash service with nowhere to turn until our report aired.
But first, we break down the big changes heading to National City's Bayfront.
And we have more warm days and cool nights ahead. I do want you to know, though, we have a dense fog advisory in effect through tomorrow at 10 a.m. So just be extra careful on the roads. We'll have your full forecast right after this.